Yeah, I mean, what a ball game. I mean, that was an intense game from the jump, and it always is with BYU, and again, we just found a way to win. Guys did a great job of sticking with it because there were stretches there that, you know, I think some guys it wasn't going good not only for the squad, but it wasn't going good for particular guys, and they didn't hang their heads. They kept fighting, and then gave us a chance to, to pull it out in the end. Had a little kennel magic there. So.
Did you make it, Julian, just clutch threes, and then
It was really big time because he was in foul trouble, and I asked him if he's ready to go, and we called his number right when he came in, and had several baskets, but obviously those threes were the ones that were just huge. It was not pretty for Anton at the free throw line, but he made two that really mattered. Obviously Drew made a bunch of free throws down the stretch, and we ended up, we were down big on the glass again to these guys. We ended up out rebounding them, and I think they only made 1 3 in the second half. So those are the kind of the basketball things that I think helped us get to that point.
Anton kind of has a knack for those tap outs that lead to offensive rebounds. He had a few down the stretch. How big are those?
Well, they were obviously huge tonight. We were able to convert a couple of threes off him, and he was really, really active. The only thing he didn't do well was shoot free throws. He made play after play after play, defense, and as you said, tipping balls out, and was even delivering around the basket a little bit. I was proud of how he handled those last 2 free throws.
Mark, Julian not only had the big one at their place, but the 2 here. What is it about him that makes him so fearless in those moments like that?
Look, he's very confident in that stroke of his, and he's big. He's almost 6'8", so he's able to he's got a high shooting pocket, so I don't think a normal closeout really affects him, and he's got that deep range, and he knows I have confidence in him, and his teammates have confidence in him, and by and large, those are always usually good shots. I really like, he's really added this last 10, 12 games. He's very comfortable going downhill against some of these coverages and hitting those little floaters in the lane. That's really became a big part of his game.
How much will you miss just the atmosphere and kind of the energy that always seems to come with these BYU games, whether it's in Provo or back here?
We have great energy, for a lot of our games here. But it's been an intense, series when we play them, and their home court is incredible. You guys are down there, and we've just had some legendary type games and finishes against them over the years with some just great players making big time plays, and this was no different.
Coach, you brought in Malachi Smith about 8 minutes left in the game, him and 4 other starters. I've noticed you've been playing him with 4 starters quite a bit lately. What has he brought to his role, sort of since conference play, to really solidify himself into that, and what does he bring to the team in terms of maybe confidence?
He's a good leader, and he's very confident in himself, and so I have a lot of confidence in him down the stretch of games. And he's another guy that I think processes maybe negative plays prior in a really, really good way, and he can miss 2, and he had missed a floater really bad earlier in that, but I had confidence he'd hit that 3 if we gave him another shot. So, and then he's a big enough guard that when we're, again, handling some of these guards that seem to be going downhill and taking it at us, he can deal with it much like Anton can.
There was quite a few of the guards shook off some rough go there this year.
Yep.
Big Hickman let him.
Yep.
I believe them too, right?
Yep. And it was nice to, we tried all year to free up Rozier on press breaks so we can get him to the line, and he finally did it this game.
But Hunter back in with 36 seconds left, and he forces a missed 3-pointer on that next possession. How big was the defense there and throughout the game?
That's why we put him in. We put him in there so he could switch everything, and he did a nice job.
Time for 2 more, Coach.
You got 3 weeks left in the regular season. When you get into a physical game like this, does it do anything for you as you approach the postseason?
Yeah, I don't even know if we have 3 weeks left. I think we only have 2, right? We got the LA schools and then the So, you saw that was a really, really physical game. So that usually happens we get past January and we get into February, man, you watch those games on TV, I mean, it gets more and more physical. And so, when that happens, you just have to make plays. Literally, a lot of times it's not what you're running because most guys got you so scouted and you played them twice. And these guys know them and they know us, and you end up just having to make plays. And so, and it takes a lot of toughness. So I think that's what I'm most proud of. I think these guys showed a lot of toughness to get through this one tonight.
What do you expect next Thursday at LMU? Obviously, the beat you guys have been playing well, beat St. Mary's, and I'm sure you guys will be pretty fired up coming into that one.
Hey, look, I think I said prior to that one, they're a really good team. I mean, they're on their way to win 20-plus games this year. And obviously beating Gonzaga and beating St. Mary's, they've shown that they're capable. Shelton's just having an unbelievable year. He had another unbelievable game tonight. He had 36. So it starts with him, but they are also very physical with LePepe, and then the big fella that they added in the transfer was really, really good against us. And so, I mean, it's going to be a tough haul for us, and we know that. But again, yeah, I mean, we're going down there with the right mindset to try to get that one. And then we also know that Pepperdine's one of the most talented teams in the league, and I think they're finally starting to figure some stuff out and play to their level. And they just beat that team. And, I mean, you all saw how good these guys are.
Yeah, I guess you could say that after these last two. But I don't know. These guys just really trust me to make big shots, and somehow, some way, my man's head gets turned or they go under a screen, and these guys make the right read and find me, and I'm always gonna shoot it every time.
The first one, I think he just got back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always easy to just come back in and shoot one. How did you? What went into that play and getting that one down?
When I had picked up my fourth, I was really disappointed in myself. I think I didn't have any in the first half, and then I came out in the second half and picked up 4. So I was really disappointed in myself, just for leaving the guys out there. I felt like I was playing really well, and I felt like I left my guys stranded out there. So I was really frustrated. So that whole time on the bench, I made sure that I didn't lose my cool too much, and I knew that when I got back in the game, I was gonna try to make an impact and pick up where I had left off when I was on the court. So it was really just a mindset thing, and a lot of those guys on the bench were picking me up after I got that 4th foul. I was really frustrated, and I showed some emotion, but Snacks and the rest of the bench guys really just picked my head up.
Did you get a hand on that drive with about a minute left by Hall?
I don't think I got a hand on it, but I think I just alternated a little bit, it made them have to throw up a really tough shot. But I mean, that's something we work on, just vertically contesting everything.
What did it take to pull that out?
It was a war, man, and they have a good team. They always play us well, and it's a nice little parting gift from the kennel to them, I guess. But it's a grinder, man, and we were just chopping wood the whole game. They were making some tough shots, and then getting Julian back was huge. Just opened the floor up so much more, and when you have a guy like that, I mean, you just try to throw him the ball as much as you can, especially when he's got it going.
You guys both talk about just the rivalry that you've had with BYU. It always seems to produce these great moments. I know you kind of blew them out last year, but both games this season and throughout the last 3 or 4 years, just being a part of some of these big games.
I mean, when I first stepped foot on campus as a freshman, it was made known to me that we don't lose to BYU. Those guys are obviously going to give us their best shot every single time we play, and it's always a different atmosphere. It's something different in the air every time we play. Whether it's down in Provo or here in the kennel, it's just the energy's crazy. Fans are all completely engaged. Everyone's standing up almost the whole game, and I mean, nobody wants to be the team to lose, and we definitely don't want to allow them to beat us in the kennel, especially since it's their last time at the WCC. So it's huge for us.
Yeah, I mean, I remember my freshman year, they stormed the court on us, and that was cool, but it sucked. But I mean, it's always a great place to play. a great team. I've said it before. Like, I think this game shouldn't go away because they're leaving, just because it is so much fun, and there's such respected hatred, I would say, between the two. Like, we don't like each other, but there's a mutual respect, and that's what makes playing them so much fun, is how hard that both teams push each other in these types of games.
The guards had struggled for quite a bit of the night, not counting you as a guard. But they came up with some plays when you really had to have them, including when he was on the bench. How were they able to flip it and give you something when you needed it?
Yeah, I mean, they're just they're just guys you can count on. I mean, just like Julian coming in off the bench after sitting for so long and shoots a three. Like, we love that shot. I mean, Julian gives a wide open three. Doesn't matter how long he's sat on the bench. It's the same thing for the rest of our guards. Like, everyone struggles. It's a part of the game. You're not going to be good all the time, and we know that. Just keep trusting the process, and everything's going to work out. I mean, I know I've been struggling. The first guys to pick me up are these guys, and vice versa. He's struggling. First person we go to is him. Like, let's go. And it's just that trust that we have in each other, that the struggle is going to happen, and it's a part of it, but you know that we all got your back, and we're waiting for you to turn it on, and that's just kind of the luxury of this team is someone will step up, and we're all there for each other through thick and thin.
I'll say that, you know, like, you look back on it and you'll say, like, the biggest shots of the game might have been a couple threes down the stretch, but to me, the biggest shot of the game was down 6. We get an offensive rebound tip out to Malachi, top of the key, and we cut the lead to 3 there. And I feel like that kind of, you know, sparked some life back into us. You know, we were in a tough spot. I think we had turned the ball over a couple times, and, you know, Mally steps up and knocks it down. So, I mean, that was the biggest shot to me.
Julian, just there when you hit your hot stretch with Malachi's bucket and the layup he had to tie the game, just the crowd was in an absolute frenzy. How much were you guys able to feed off of them? I know with the BYU game, everyone's tensions are running high. But how much did the crowd contribute tonight for you guys?
I mean, they were big time. You know, just being loud the whole game, being completely engaged, and just trying to throw BYU off their game, and especially during those runs. You know, I mean, I feel like the top about to blow off this place. So, I mean, it's huge. And I know, being a basketball player and being in road environments, what it's like when, you know, another team goes on a run and their fans get really into it, and, you know, you can't hear you and your teammates communicating with each other. I mean, that's all things that really impact the game.
You guys flipped the glass in the second half, too. How did you guys make that happen? Because they hurt you in the first half.
Yeah, I think in the first half they were hitting us pretty hard, and you know, we were kind of like, all right, like, they're fouling us, right? But it wasn't getting called, and that's just the way the game goes sometimes. And the second half, we kind of said, you know, it is what it is, and we started hitting them back and harder. And I mean, I remember, like, a play in the second half, I trucked Johnson or something, and they called a foul, and it was like, everyone was like, "No, good job!" Like, they're doing that to us. So I mean, it's just stuff like that. We just kind of flipped our mindset, and we're like, "Screw it!" And you know, 5 guys rebounding, that's huge. All of us were rebounding. No one was leaking out. We were all making sure that we had each other's back on the boards.
Julian, you mentioned Malachi. He seems to have really settled into a role past month or two. A big role, important role. What does he bring to the team from your perspective?
I mean, he's super experienced. I mean, the other night he got to 1,500 career points, and I mean, you know, not every team can get a guy like that that's so experienced and, you know, have big moments at Chattanooga, average 20 points a game, and, you know, is able to come here and kind of, you know, settle into a bench role where he can produce big moments in big games. We've seen him have 25, 27 points in the game, you know, just because he's so electric. And I mean, he's been great for us on the court, and, you know, also just in the locker room, just being a great guy.
Time for a couple more.
Drew, you get LMU again. What's going to take you kind of forward with them? I'm sure that's going to be an intense one that they got you guys here.
Yeah, man, they're a great team. They've shown that, I think, this whole season, just with who they've been able to beat and everything. But we're looking forward to it, man. We felt like that game was in our hands, and we kind of gave it away. And you know, we're going to give it our all, and they're going to give it their all. So it's going to be a battle, but it's going to be a fun one for sure.
You guys have to do better against Sheldon to kind of contain him the second time around after he kind of erupted the first one.
I mean, I think we've worked on some things in practice that we've addressed in general for other teams, you know, but just basic principles we've worked on. So, we just got to keep practicing and keep working on things that we thought we didn't do better, and there's always things we can improve on. So, yeah.